Hey, my name is Jasper, and I'm here to teach you today about how you can increase your sales by up to 200%, but actually a lot more, with a radical value offering. So you might think, what is a radical value offering? I'll get back to that in a second. Just to introduce myself, I'm the general partner here at Software Founders. We build and invest in software companies specialized within growth and SaaS. This is a picture of me with my family. I'm father of two-year-old twins, and that's us escaping during COVID, during the lockdown, to the mountains to have a balanced work life. It's always about thinking, how will you work on the next steps? How do you optimize everything you do to have a higher outcome, and think radically? So in the end of the day, we're all about fast scale of your revenue through a radical value offering. And we've done that with sales tools, Exact Visitor, Tech Tracker, and we helped a lot of other companies. So I'm here today to share with you the methodology behind that. So first of all, let's take this old school example. Everybody is selling a feature. Selling a feature is wrong. People, they want the outcome, the result. They're not buying a drill. They're actually buying the outcome, the whole. They're looking to get the whole, right? If you take that a step further, this is typically how SaaS company they talk about themselves. They talk about the feature rather than the outcome, the result. Most people would, however, think about that they want a beautiful restaurant style table made for Walmart. I mean, the impact versus outcome and the timing, that's what we all care about. We're selling the table, not the drill. We're selling what the user or the customer is trying to achieve. If you sell a software, a service, or a service in general, it's not about you, it's about them. It's about what they're looking to achieve. So don't be like the guy selling the feature saying we have the best drill in the world. The customer, quite frankly, wouldn't care. They would just care about that they can get the outcome. They can make the hole so they can put on the leg and they have the beautiful walnut table for the restaurant. I hope you understand. So let's move forward. I took a couple of screenshots of some websites done Product Hunt right now, and I think that is a good example of companies not thinking forward because they simply didn't follow the radical terminology, and that's okay. Everybody has room for improvement. So if you look at this, an elegant PHP testing framework. PEST is testing framework with a focus on simplicity. It was carefully crafted to bring joy of testing PHP. Well, maybe a developer might understand this, but it's all about them. They're talking about them. They're talking about their feature. They doesn't talk about that, hey, by using PEST, we avoid having bugs in our system. I understand you can say that a lot better, but the point is, they are behaving like a feature right now. They don't grab the ball and become radical thinking. They don't talk about the outcome for the customer. So the customer, they might not understand what they do. And at the end of the day, think about this. If you're a feature, you cannot go out and ask for money from people because you're not serving an outcome. You're not giving somebody an outcome in your communication. And PEST is definitely not giving an outcome here. So if they start asking for money, they will convert far less than they would if they took a radical approach. That's where the 200+% comes into your return of investment. And this is a simple exercise. If you look at these guys, Hexawatch, beyond availability and price. Well, great. Hexawatch is your AI sidekick. First of all, slap out the AI. Nobody simply give a rat ass. AI is something that is let's say it the way it is, bullshit, buzzword. Basically, all the best softwares today have some sort of AI underlying. They have some understanding of data. They have some AI kicking in. You don't market it. Actually, that create, and we've seen that in our research, distrust with customers. Maybe you sell to certain customers to say, wow, AI is still cool. But the reality is, this is becoming mainstream. So cut out the part of AI, for example. And again, look at what they're actually communicating. Hexawatch is your AI sidekick to monitor any website for visual content, source code, or data changes. Now, what they're talking about is, again, what they deliver as a feature, not what's in it for you. Are we talking about I can monitor a competitor and change the price? Well, know when your competitor change price. Know when your competitor launches a new product. talk about the outcome for the customer, what they're looking to achieve by that. Is it that you have some images that you're afraid of people stealing? I don't know if that's what they do. It's not clear from the text. Well, communicate that. Maybe even use cool personalization platforms. I have different front pages that are communicating based on what type of industry are coming to you, and then the text is changing. But definitely this needs some work. There's another great example of how the founders think about themselves and their feature. Now, I took this company as well, blazing fast servers for high conversions and stress-free maintenance of your WooCommerce stores. Well, it's a little bit better. They talk about that, hey, you don't have to care about maintenance. It's going to be super fast. But again, it's a little bit more over on the feature side than the outcome side for the customer. So they need to fine-tune this and test it with the market. We'll come in later in the next series of videos on how you're going to test the market, your methodology of testing it, and so on and so forth. But it's a little bit better. It's definitely the best of the 3 examples we have done here. I hope you understand and get the point. Do not talk about the feature. Do focus on what the outcome is. It's all about the customer. It's not about you. So if you think about radical approach, right? You have a value, which I have right up here, and I'm just going to move my mouse. I can't do that. So you have the value in red. That's the radical part what you're offering. The perceived value. You have 2 things you really can care about here. That is the quality, the perceived quality, multiplied by the perceived service. And then you divide it by time and cost. Well, time doesn't really matter anymore unless you're cloud infrastructure service, because the milliseconds might matter, but anything else, that's really not important, because every e-commerce store can use drop shipping with Amazon deliver next day. Now, that's not a value part that you talk about. And definitely not cost, which is your price. There can always come some knockoff in Ukraine or another country that makes a cheaper version than you have. But they might suffer on quality and service where you can make a difference. If you start focusing on cost and price, then it's a rat race to nobody makes money. And those companies typically die after some time. They never leave room for growth. So you need to focus on quality and service. That's where you can stand out and have a radical value. So focus on that. And again, time and cost is nothing. It's something everybody takes for granted. Otherwise, you wouldn't have market leaders being able to charge a lot more than all the new incumbents, or challengers as we'll call them. But typically, they suffer on quality and service. So think about this when you build it in. And here's a little case study, okay? So it's very famous with Leonardo DiCaprio, who's the Wolf of Wall Street. He has the sentence where, "Sell me my pen." And, well, the saying in that video is, well, you have to sign it or something, right? You all have seen it, but that's not the point of the story here. But it's a very typical sales karma thing to talk about. So what we will establish here is a pen has 4 things, right? Quality, service, cost, and time. So the quality is, for example, well, this pen is high-end, it's elegant. Services, it's reliable, it works every single time. Cost, well, it's cheap. Time is always available. So those are the QSCTs that you can focus on. Now, the use case, however, might be different. Well, they can write a phone number, they can sign a contract, they can draw a portrait. I can fill out an application. So you have different use cases for different people, but also different price points. What are the gains by buying a pen? And again, this is an example to think about your website and your entire business. How can you relate to a simple thing like this ugly pen, which is definitely not a Mont Blanc, very elegant, but this was on my desk by accident when I recorded this video today. So what are the gains, right? Write a phone number for your date. Great, you're in the bar, you can write it down. If you didn't have the smartphone around, it dies from battery, it happens, right? You can sign a business contract. Well, that still happens in most of the world. You still meet in person, even though you have COVID, even though everybody can DocuSign. There's a lot of people that prefer to actually do it in person, especially if you have to be notarized, even though you can notarize it online these days. You can draw a portrait that will inspire others. Creative people do that. You can fill out an application to land your dream job, move into your house to get a visa application, and so on and so forth. Now, what are the timing factor here? Well, if you look at the marketing perspective, I can write, get 10% off today, only today, right? Well, I can sign, it's a limited edition. I can draw, well, try it now. I can fill out, get started now. These are all like, you understand when you go on your SaaS selling page, it's a discount today, it's limited, you can try it now, get in the free trial, get started now. These are all the factors coming back to the basics. So if you take all this together, the outcome of our pen here is, well, this is an elegant pen that lets you sign $1 million contract. It's a limited edition, get yours today. Now, we position ourselves higher. You care about quality, perception here. So this is really what you have to think about when you talk about radical innovation. Think about that on your website. Again, my name is Jesper Christ. I'm the general partner of Software Founders. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can ask me anything you want on Twitter. You can also go check out Sales Tools, Take Tracker, and Exact Visitors portfolio companies we have. We will follow up with the next course here. But I just wanted to introduce you to radical thinking today. Have a wonderful day.